constructed the body, 10 to 27. The body, the total body and the individual body are of the same composition, may figuratively be called the original tree. From this tree, which fully depends on the ground of material nature, come two kinds of fruit. The enjoyment of happiness and the suffering of distress. The cause of the tree forming a tree root is association with the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion and ignorance. The fruits of bodily happiness are four tastes: religiosity, economic development, sense gratification and liberation, which are experienced through five senses for acquiring knowledge in the midst of six circumstances: lamentation, illusion, old age, hunger, death and thirst. The seven layers of bark covering the tree are skin, blood, muscle, fat, bone, marrow and semen. And the 8 branches of the tree are 5 gross and 3 subtle: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. The tree of the body has 9 hollows: the eyes, the ears, the nostrils, the mouth, the rectum and the genitals, and 10 leaves. The 10 airs pass through the body. In this tree of the body there are 2 births. One is the individual soul and the other is the super soul. See how the whole body is constructed. You understand? Huh? Are you following? Next verse, what it says? Yeah. So from this verse you see here, go back. The efficient curse of this material world manifests with many varieties as the original tree is you. That we are reading now. What we are reading now? The Lord as Super Soul is manifesting one thing after the other. O Lord, you are also the maintainer of this material world, and after annihilation you are the one whom everything is observed. Those who, covered by your external energy, cannot see you. You behind this manifestation, but theirs is not the vision of learned devotee. So only a devotee can understand this, that everything is conducted by the will of the super soul. Without the super soul, it cannot work. That is that Bhagavad Gita chapter 18, text 14. It's also the same thing is said here. The place of action, the body, the performer, the soul, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, ultimate the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action. You understand? If you need to do anything, there must be these 5. Body, the soul, the senses, and the kind of work, and ultimately the super soul. So if this super soul is not there, you cannot, again in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in 13:23, So yet in this body there is another transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord, the same proprietor who exists as the overseer and permitter is known as the super soul. So the super soul is manifesting this activity in the mind, and the mind is totally under the control of the Lord. Understand? Because the gross elements and the 3 subtle elements are created by the Lord. So although you are having this mind, it is not mind is under the control of the Lord. You understand? He can manifest, he can manipulate. You understand? So why people cannot understand the Lord? Why some people can understand, why some people cannot understand? That means the Lord is in control. Yes, that's why it says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, text 15, I am seated in the heart, and for me comes what? Remembrance, knowledge and forgetfulness. You understand? So the willing, feeling, thinking, all these are manipulated by the Lord. So devotees, they understand this, but non-devotees, they cannot understand. They think they are the doer. 327. This is non-devotee. They think like this, but Krishna says they are Vimudatma, a fool. The spirit soul revealed by influence of all to think himself the doer of activities that in actuality carry out by the three modes of material. You follow? So the actual person who is manifesting everything is the Lord sitting in the heart. Right? It is not that you are, of course, under illusion, you are thinking you are the doer. But actually it's carried out all by the... For the very fact that when you go to sleep, you don't remember anything. Do you remember when you go to sleep who you are? You? So when you wake up, the Lord in the heart gives you the intelligence. You are so and so, you got this, you got this, you got that. So He awakens you up. Are you following? This is how it is manipulating the whole consciousness. So if you want to come out of this cycle, then only way is to surrender. And that can happen through the mind. That can happen through the... Because Krishna is giving you that facility to handle your mind. That's why Krishna says your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. See, you can see 6.5 Bhagavad Gita. So here you can see here Krishna says, one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Here he says, one must deliver himself. That means you can manipulate that freedom you have given, that minute independence you have given to manipulate your mind. You understand? See? But you cannot degrade your mind. Next verse. Go to the purport. Go below. You can see a verse there. Go down to the verse. Right here. For the man, mind is the cause of bondage and mind is the cause of liberation. Mind absorbed in sense object is the cause of bondage and mind detached from the sense object is the cause of liberation. Is it? Again, we go to the next verse. So you see here, again, for him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. So you are given this facility to what? To use your mind. If you use, as now we say, if you use your mind for sense object, then it becomes of bondage. If you use your mind to think of the Lord, it is because of liberation. That minute independence you are given, that's also explained here, 4, 29, 26, 27. So here, you see here, the living entity by nature has minute independence. It has what? To choose his own good or bad fortune. when he forgets his Supreme Master, the personality of Godhead, he gives himself up to the modes of material nature. Being influenced by the modes of material nature, he identifies himself with the body, and for the interest of the body becomes attached to various activities. Sometimes he is under the influence of mode of ignorance, sometimes the mode of passion, and sometimes the mode of goodness. The living entity thus gets different types of body under the modes of material nature. You understand? This is how he gets. When he independently chose, with his minute independence chose to not surrender, or rather to surrender to Maya, then he gets entangled. Are you following this? So it is all based on the next verse. Those who situate in the mode of goodness act piously according to Vedic injunctions, thus they are elevated to higher planetary system where the demigods live. Those who influence with where the demigod lives, those who are influenced by the mode of passion engage in various activities of productive activity in the planetary system where human beings live. Those influenced by the mode of darkness are subject to various types of misery and live in the animal kingdom. So according to the manipulation of your mind, in the mode of goodness you go up, mode of passion you stay here, become human or even demon, and in the mode of ignorance you become animal. See? So in this way, next verse, because of the manipulation of the mind, the spirit soul is going from covered by the mode of ignorance, material living in it, sometimes male, sometimes female, sometimes human, sometimes human being, sometimes demigod, sometimes bird, sometimes animal, and so on. In this way, is wandering within the material world, is the acceptance of different types of bodies brought about by its activities under the influence of the mode of nature. So because of the mind. Are you following? Because of the So Krishna has given you the facility to what? Control the mind. Can you go 11:13:9? Supreme Personality God is a Mayudva. A person derived of intelligence first falsely identified with the material body and mind. And when such false knowledge arises within one's consciousness, material passion, the cause of great suffering, prevails the mind, which by nature is in the mood of goodness. Then the mind, contaminated by passion becomes absorbed in making and changing many plans for material advancement. Thus, by constantly thinking of the modes of material nature, a foolish person is afflicted with unbearable material desires. See how this happens? Huh? Are you following? You want to read again this thing? You want to read again? Read again. Can you read? You read.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Uddhava, a person bereft of intelligence first falsely identifies himself with the material body and mind. And when such false knowledge arises within one's consciousness, material passion, the cause of great suffering, pervades the mind, which by nature is situated in goodness. Then the mind, contaminated by passion, becomes absorbed in making and changing many plans for material advancement. Thus, by constantly thinking of the modes of material nature, a foolish person is afflicted with unbearable material desires.
See this point? You understand? How the whole thing is engineered. Yeah? You follow? That's why the mind, it says here, the mind, go back to the top. When a person bereft of intelligence, what does that mean? Bereft of what? Intelligence. And Krishna says, I am sitting in the heart and I give you the knowledge. You understand? So if you surrender to him, then he say, I give you the knowledge in which you can come to me. If you don't surrender to him, he gives the knowledge, how you can forget. You follow? So all this is manipulated by the, according to your minute independence, what you want to do. If you want to go to Krishna, then he will give you the Tesham Satata Yuktanam Vajantam Gatipurvatam Vadami Buddhi Yogam. What he gives? The intelligence in which you can come to him. But if you try to enjoy the senses, then he will bewilder your Moga Asa Moga Karma no. You know what is that? 9-12 Bhagavad Gita. See how he bewilders. Moha means what? What is moha mean? Illusion. He puts you in. Is it that? Go, where are you going? 9-12. Go to the verse. Sanskrit. See? Moga samoga karmano moga jnana visetusa rakshasem asurim chaiva prakitem mohinim sita. So everything becomes what? Moha. Your moga asa means your what? Your hope. Moga, your action is also moga. And jnana, your knowledge becomes moha. And that way you will be attracted by what? You become a Raksasin and Asura. See how dangerous it is? Just by the mind. Just what? By the mind. You follow? See how the Lord manipulates. And you cannot control your mind. It's very difficult. Arjuna said, controlling the mind is like controlling the wind. It's impossible. And Krishna also said, among things difficult to control, I am the. So you see how detrimental the whole thing is played out. And that position is in the seat of the heart. The seat of. You understand? Sometimes someone does some crazy thing, loses his intelligence. Yes? Yes or not? Why? Because of the manipulation of the mind with the modes. And he provokes, and he loses his intelligence, he falls down. Yeah. This is how everything is working. So if we are intelligent, and that's why Krishna said, Man mana bhava madbhakta madhyaji mam namaskaro mame vyasi yuktaivam atmana madparayana. In fact, he said this 2 times. He said what? 2 times. Second time he says in 1866, Man mana bhava madbhakta madhyaji mam namaskaro. Okay. Yeah. Mame vesi satyam te pratijane priyosime. These 2 lines is changed. What he said, these 2 lines, why he changed it? I promise you. That means if you surrender, then if you do this, then I promise you, you will come back to me. You have to do, no? Who have to control the mind? Who? You are given that choice that you better control the, and then can go. 11, 26, no sorry, 11, 23, 47. All the senses have been under the control of the mind since time immemorial. And the mind himself never comes under the sway of any other. He is stronger than the strongest and his godlike power is fierce. Therefore, Anyone who can bring the mind under control becomes the master of all the senses. Hello? Anyone who can? Master of the? Next verse. Failing to conquer this irrepressible enemy, the mind, which urges are intolerable and who torment the heart, many people are completely bewildered and create useless quarrel with others. This is what happens if you don't control your mind. Quarreling, fighting. Yes? Thus they conclude that other people are either their friends, their enemies, or parties indifferent to them. Parties are? Hello? You understand me? Huh? Are you understanding? So when you are fighting, he is my friend, he is my enemy. It is all Prahlad Maharaj said. To the next verse. Person who identify with the body, which is simply the product of the material mind, are blinded in their intelligence, thinking in terms of I and mine because of the illusion of this I, but that is someone else. They wander in endless darkness. Right? Endless?
Darkness.
Yeah. You can go to 7, 8. Seven, 8, 9. Prahlad Maharaj continued, my dear father, please give up your demonic mentality. Do not discriminate in your heart between enemies and friends. Make your mind equipoise to everyone. Except for the uncontrolled and misguided mind, there is no enemy within this world. And one sees everyone on the platform of equality, one then comes to the position of worshipping the Lord perfectly. Yes? Actually there is no enemy, there is no friend. You learn how to see the Super Soul. Correct? That's why he said in 6-7 Bhagavad Gita, if you have control your mind, if you have control your mind, then for one who has conquered the mind, the Super Soul is already reached. For he has attained tranquility, to such a man happiness and distress, peace, cold, honor and dishonor are the same. You understand? He comes into the transcendental Brahma Bhuta platform. Brahma Bhuta Prasnatma, na sochate na kanchate, samaham sarvabhuteshu, mad bhakti labhate. You understand how it is all working? Are you understanding? Right? So the chief thing is all the, isn't the one? Understand? So you have to learn how to control the, and we are given a very simple process. What is that? 5, 11, 16 first. The sole destination, the mind, is the cause of all tribulation in the material world. As long as this fact is unknown to the conditioned soul, conditioned living entity, he has to accept miserable condition of the material body and wander within this universe in different positions. Because the mind is affected by disease, lamentation, illusion, attachment, greed, enmity, it creates bondage and false sense of intimacy within the material world. So as long as you don't know the problem maker is the mind. You understand this point? Yeah? If you don't know this thing, that the mind is the cause of all, right? Everything becomes messed up. Right? You must know your biggest enemy is the. And if you don't know, that's why again Bhagavad Gita 15:7, same thing. Mamayangso jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana manaha sastra indriyani prakriti sthana karshati. Yeah? What is it? The living entity in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six chakras, which include the mind. You understand this point here? Do you understand? Do you understand? Huh? So how to control the mind? Because we have to think of Krishna, that's a fact. But you can see here, 5:11:17. This is the only way to control the mind. The uncontrolled mind is the greatest enemy of the living entity. If one neglects it or gives it a chance, it will grow more and more powerful and will become victorious. Although it is not factual, it is very strong. It covers the constitutional position of the soul, O king. Please try to conquer this mind by the weapon of service to the lotus feet of the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Do this with great care. The only way you can handle this mind is to engage in the of the spiritual master, and you must do it with great. You follow? So if you want to handle your mind, this is the solution. In other words, if you don't have a spiritual master, you cannot control your mind. That's also said here. 10:87:33. It is not possible. It is not. The mind is like an impetus source that even persons who regulated their senses and breath cannot control. Those in this world who try to tame the uncontrolled mind but who have abandoned the feet of the spiritual master encounter hundreds of obstacles in their cultivation, very destructive practices. Oh unborn Lord. And they are like merchants on a boat in the ocean who have failed to employ hands. No, not possible. It is not. Because the mind is so difficult to control. It is so impossible. It is. You will encounter hundreds of what? Obstacles. Problems after problems. Not possible. It is not. Understand? Therefore, it is says to conquer the mind, you need a guru. And from the guru, you must get what? You must do service. And then you get transcendental knowledge. And he tells you how to do it. He gives you mantra. When you hear the mantra from the guru, then you become potent. You understand? And by that mantra you can control the mind. 11, 12. 17. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Uddhava, the Supreme Lord gives life to every living being and situated within the heart along with the life air and primeval sound vibration. Today we are seated in the what? Ah. Yes? And there's something I said here, and the primeval sound vibration. So the mind can try to control by some kind of a sound vibration. The Lord can be perceived in His subtle form within the heart by one's mind. So you can perceive the Lord in your heart. They say, always show me God, show me God. We can perceive the same God in your heart by one's mind. How? Since the Lord controls the mind of everyone, even great demigods like Lord Shiva, the Supreme Lord also assumes a gross form as these various sounds of the Vedas composed of short and long vowels and consonants of different intonations. In other words, by mantra. That's why it says mantra. What does mantra mean? Manaha trayate iti mantraha. That means the mantra releases, can release you from the entanglement. That's why I call mantra, yes? So mantra means what? What is mantra? Hare Krishna mantra, Om, Pranam mantra, yes? So all these are sound vibration. With the help of your mind, you can go to God. You can go to God by sound. By what? You cannot see Him now. Can you see? Cannot. Can you see? Cannot. So how you will see Him? By what? Sound. Om. Right? But usually the impersonalist chant is mantra. But for us is what? Mantra. What is that? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. You can perceive. And how you perceive? The first thing that you perceive is what? The feeling, thinking. It is coupled by the feeling of happiness. Feeling means what? Happiness. Feeling what? Yes. The moment you chant, you become what? 17,135. No, sorry, 1795. Adi, say, Madhya, hello. So you see here, okay, Klesakni Subhada Moksha Laguhuta Krita Sudurlabha Sandra Ananda Vishesma Sri Krishna Karshini Cha Sa. I think here we don't have a full translation. Okay, here. Alright, so we'll break down this Klesa Agni, Subhada, Moksha Lagu Krita. Hello, can you just show the verse there, please? Alright, okay, can you just stay there? Alright, this word Klesha Agni. Klesha Agni means Klesha Agni means that which eradicates all miseries of life. Klesha Agni means what? It eradicates all of life. And Subhada, that which inaugurates auspicious cities. That means Mokshada means the one who gives you auspiciousness. Right? Understand? Moksha, laguhuta krita. Moksha means liberation. Lagu krita, that which belittles. That means it belittles what? Moksha. And Subhada, which is rarely achieved. Subhada means what? Very rarely achieved. And Sandra Ananda, intensified bliss, transcendental. That means it's unlimited happiness. Okay? Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, intensified transcendental bliss to Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Akarsini means, Sri Krishna Akarsini means attracting, that means it attracts Krishna. So in other words, this whole thing means pure devotional service, as pointed out in the 11th stanza of the Wave of the Ocean, this is from Nectar of Devotion, this verse, is characterized, one, by the power of driving out all distress. It inaugurates an atmosphere of auspicity. It belittles the value of liberation, but it is very rare to achieve. Subhada means very rare to achieve. It is full of transcendental bliss, so much so that it attracts even Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead. So here the translation, Prabhupada saying, devotional service is klesha agni even for the beginners. In other words, if you start chanting this sound vibration that I have already stressed, it immediately gives you result. Immediately what? Are you following? That's why again in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam. What is the next one? What? Susukam Kartam Avyayam. Susukam Kartam Avyayam Pratyapachakaham. Pratyachakavaham means what? What does that mean? Can you go? It means you can directly perceive. You can directly what? It gives direct perception. Are you following? So this process of chanting gives you direct perception. That's why this chanting is stressed in Kali Yuga. There's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way. Okay, anyway, there's no other way. If you want to get to God, you must go through sound vibration only, chanting. You follow? And that chanting, you must get the mantra from Guru. And you must follow all the guidelines. So when you do this, then you can bring the mind under, not only control, how you control, you will be able to perceive the Lord. Because of the help of the Lord, you will be able to control your. That's why Krishna said, Devi Yesuguna Maya Mama Maya Turutya Mameva Prapadyante Mayam Etan. That's why we read just now. Only by the help of the Guru, service to Guru and service to Krishna, that you will be able to conquer this. Do you understand this? Do you know now why we chant? For fun, not to fall asleep. Why you chant? To Seto Darpanam Marjanam. Chanting will Subhada, will clear all this. Does not be read, correct? All dirty things are Seto Darpanam. You chant in the morning, eh? What do you chant? Sleeping. Next thing you must chant, tomorrow you cannot have this phone, There is no phone tomorrow. You cannot. Cannot. Tomorrow you must have in your. Understand? Hello? We know the phone. I never train people with phone. Tomorrow no phone. Tomorrow what? No phone. You must take with your. Today you better memorize all 8 prayers and the English. Hello? Biryani, yeah? After biryani, sleep. Huh? What? Sleep. You better don't bring the phone here tomorrow. Understand? I want to see you chanting without what? You go to university, you what? No memory. What do you do in university? What? Nothing. You don't learn now. What? So tomorrow you better don't bring the phone. Of course, you please come here. You don't forget to come. Yes. So it should be in memory. Seto darpanam marjanam bhavamahatmi nirvapanam Shreya kailava chandri kavitar vidyavadu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam punam tatsvapan sarvatna snapanam param vidyate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Glory is to Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditioned life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity's life because its price is raised to the benediction. It is the life and soul of all living entities because it what? Creates the transcendental bliss, ocean of transcendental bliss, for which we are always anxious. So this is chanting this mantra, remembrance in your. Hello? Yes? Good. So you see how devotional service is very powerful even for beginners. You understand? And by, you will be able to see the Lord in the, because the dirty things in the heart is clear. And it all starts by chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Is it clear now? Do you understand this whole class? Yes or no? So you see how the mind, today we are talking about the perceive the, yes, but if you don't control the mind and engage in the Lord's service, then you cannot even know yourself. You cannot know, you'll be lost. You'll be what? 11, 21, 21. O saintly Uddhava, a person bereft of real intelligence is considered a lost everything. Deviated from the actual purpose of life, become dull, just like a dead person. So this will be your end result if you try to chant and try to enjoy the senses. Enjoy the senses, dull, no brains, everything is gone. You follow? Clear? So any questions up to now?
So, mind, the mind is under the control the mind is under the control of the super soul. But is it that the super soul is, I mean, it is under his control completely, but it's like, okay, you can have some control of it with your minute independence. Is it that or?
The mind is totally under the control of the Lord. With His help, you can use the mind to go to Him.
With his help.
What do you say in the Bhagavad Gita? Devi esa gunamaya mamamaya turati mameva prapadyante. Then you cannot independent. Why you can take the mind out yourself? It's not possible. This element is created by who? God. Because it's totally under His control. Now you read. The mind is even controlling the mind of Lord Shiva, is it not? Yes? It's controlling Lord Shiva but not you. Why? Because it's bigger than Lord Shiva. What? Understand? So we take His help. Mam eva prapadyante. You take His and then you can overcome the. You understand? And when you surrender to Him, then He says, I am in the heart, I will give you how to come. Sometimes the magician does some trick, right? Have you seen? Right? And then he show you how he does the trick. Correct? Oh, now I know. Yes? The same way. If you surrender to Krishna, then Krishna removes the Maya to show you. You follow? And then you understand, oh, this is how the Maya. You understand? Are you following? So you surrender. Can you understand the trick of the magician without you surrendering? You can. How he does also you cannot figure out. But if he shows you, oh, like that. Yeah? Yes? So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mahatmana tu mam pata deving prakirtim ashrita. Because they are under the protection of divine energy, they cannot be bewildered by Maya. Because Krishna removes that covering. Whereas those who are non-devotees, what is that verse? 7:25? What is it? 7:25? Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samamrita udoyam na vijanante lokamahajama vyayam vidosva. Rascal, fool, demon, naham, you cannot figure it out. It's not possible. It's not. In fact, you become bewildered. You become what? So try to understand this. Try to. Krishna is very expert in doing that. 6:4:31. Let me offer my respectful obeisance to the all-pervading Supreme Personality Godhead who possesses unlimited transcendent qualities, acting within the cause of the heart of all philosophers who propagate various views. He caused them to forget their own soul while sometimes agreeing, sometimes disagreeing among themselves. Thus he creates within this material world a situation in which they are unable to come to a conclusion. I offer my respectful obeisance. You understand now? Hello? Is it clear? Not clear? Clear? Huh? Clear?
Something under his control.
Yes. He is the boss. Okay? Go to 29. 6:4:29. Anything expressed by material vibration, anything ascertained by material intelligence, anything experienced by material senses or concocted within the material mind is but an effect of the modes of material nature and therefore has nothing to do with the real nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord is beyond the creation of the material world, for He is the source of material qualities and creation. as the cause of all causes exists before the creation, after the creation, I wish to offer my respectful obeisance. So you try with your material mind to do anything material, it will not work. It will not. See? Understand? Understand? Right? In other words, you cannot go to him with your own material endeavor. That's not possible. It is not. It is not. No? So you try to make some sound like somebody was saying, huh? He created his own mantra. No problem, no problem. You can, no problem, you can go. Some people teach like that. No, you just repeat, no problem, no problem, no problem. That no problem. It is like the ostrich. You know what the ostrich does when there's problem? He bury head in the sand and think there's no problem. Yeah? You're a fool. You understand? Therefore, anything material cannot have any effect. Only solution is spiritual. And that means surrendering to God, Krishna. You understand? They chant, Om Tattvam Asi Tattvam. It will not work. Will not? Cannot work. Yeah, you cannot create your own mantra. It's not possible. All right. Any other questions? Yeah.
I have a question regarding Vedas 6.5, which we just showed. That it says that the mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and is enemy as well. So when we say that mind is a friend of the conditioned soul, so for the conditioned soul, the mind is friend or enemy. So what about that pure souls? Like for them, what mind looks like? For them, is friend or enemy? What is this?
What do you say?
He's saying that the 6.5 says the mind is friend of the conditioned soul and is enemy as well.
Yeah.
So, like, what is the status of the mind for a conditioned soul? Is it his enemy or his friend? And what is the status of the mind for a pure devotee? Is it his friend or his enemy?
If you use the mind to serve the Lord, then it becomes your friend. If you use your mind to serve your senses, it becomes your greatest. That's all. You understand? If you use it for your sense gratification, your mind will be your greatest. And if you use that to chant Krishna's name, it will become your finished.
Since the mind is the friend of the conditioned souls and the enemy as well, so of course, if he engages himself in Krishna service, that becomes friend. And if he engages in us gratification, so that becomes his enemy. That's correct. But like Prabhupada is friend of the conditioned soul. So why is using this term conditioned souls?
Because the soul is in condition now. The soul is now trapped in the body. Is it not? So it is conditioned by the three modes of. Yes. For the liberated soul, there is no question of this. He is always a friend with the Lord. Correct? Why to talk about a liberated soul? No need to talk. Yes. Now we are talking about the conditioned soul. Yes. You follow? So he is trapped in this body. Is what? So for him to get out, we are given this facility. You take this mind and you surrender. That the soul to go is not possible, no? So through the senses, the soul has to act through the senses. The chief of it is the mind. You understand? And you have to engage the mind in the service of the. That's why the Lord says, Man, Mana. Yes? Yes. Are you following? You understand? Any other questions?
We know that the mind acts as per the association.
You have to speak up. What is saying? The mind,
acts as per the association means like by the influence only the mind works like either we are in influence of goodness or ignorance or passion. So Prabhu, like sometimes we see that people who are associating with the goodness also they fall into the prey of ignorance. How it happens?
because, can you go 14:10? Can you read that?
Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent.
Sometimes the mode of goodness become prominent, defeating the mode of passion and ignorance, O son of Bharata. Sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance. Sometimes ignorance defeats passion, goodness and passion. In this way there is always competition for supremacy. So that's why if you are in the mode of goodness, it's very difficult. That's why you have to transcend all the... Because goodness also you will be implicated. You understand? Huh? So it's not safe. You follow? So, but when you go above the modes, mam cho vyabhicharana bhakti yogena se sa guna samati titan brahma bhuvyani kalpa. You want to come to the Brahman fruit form, you must go above the goodness, like all these Brahmins, so-called Brahmins, taking by the amount of goodness, they eating all kinds. But then why they fell down? What? Because goodness also is dangerous. Correct? You follow? But if you transcend, then you are safe. Yeah? You understand? Only when you transcend, then you are safe. You stay in the mode of goodness, you also become puffed up, proud. Oh, I'm Brahmin, I'm high class, you low class, this, that. Correct? You become? Yes. Not by that advice, you cannot stay in the mode of goodness. Alright? You can go and read the verses, 7, 15, 40, 44. So we will read that. Okay, it's getting late. Right. Any more questions? Some more questions? Yeah.
Realization. We were talking
Huh?
yesterday about realization.
What's that?
Realization.
Realization.
Realization happens with association with devotees or sometimes in some cases it happens alone.
He's asking if realization happens only in the association of devotees, or sometimes it may happen when we are alone also.
The Lord is in the heart. He gives you the realization. I am seated inside and I give you what? Knowledge, intelligence and forgetfulness. Huh? So the Lord in your heart, He awakens you, He wakes you up. You follow? So you have to surrender. And that also you have to surrender to a pure devotee. Then this will happen. You understand? It cannot happen by you what? Dreaming and suddenly wake up as what? Narada Muni. Possible. Not possible. Understand? You have to surrender. With the mercy, externally is guiding you as a Acharya, internally is helping you as a... That's how it works. Huh? Right. You can go and read that verse 11:29:6. Huh? You can write down, go and read. Anything else? We'll stop here then. Huh? It's a very long subject, this one. But you understand this? Is it clear, this whole subject? Not clear. Otherwise you play this thing again. Yeah? You can go and play this tape and see again. Alright? Okay. Thank you very much. Sundar Bhagavatam Ji. Prabhupada.